Smart Shot caps you with 3 character references and 1 environment at a time. What's on your screen right now, a bull Triceratops, his family, and an adult T-Rex is 4 characters across 2 environments, all holding identity in every shot. That's a taste of where we're going. Getting there takes one thing Smart Shot doesn't give you. Pull up a chair, 3 tools, 15 reference slots instead of 4. I'll show you the entire chain, including where it broke and how to fix it when it does break. This is Smart Shot inside OpenArt. It's a director. You describe the scene and it'll plan every camera angle and shot. But right here, as you can see, we only have 3 character references available to us in this tool, and we only have 1 environmental reference available to us. And I needed 4 dinosaurs across 2 environments, so I had to get creative. If you're brand new to Smart Shot, I've got a full walkthrough linked below. OpenArt provides a lot of tools to help us with our creativity. One of those tools is a character generator that allows us to reuse consistent characters in a variety of different tools. There's multiple ways to create characters, but the way I'm going to do it for our purposes is by using base images. As you can see on the screen, I produced 4 adult male Triceratops, adult female, and then babies. And this is the image I chose to use for my adult bull male Triceratops. I like the scar on the frill. I think it'll really stand out in the videos. So now, in order to create a more robust model, we want a variety of images of this particular Triceratops with different angles so the model has an idea of what it looks like at different camera angles. OpenArt, again, in an attempt to make things easier for us, created a tool for us called Change Camera Angle. And within that, we can literally say, just give us all the different camera angles, and this is what you get. If you generate all camera angles, you'll get 11 different images. And as I scroll through these, you can see that it did generate different camera angles, but you may not be getting the results you expected. So I don't tend to do it this way. I tend to create my own base images simply because I have more control over the final output that way. But OpenArt makes it easy no matter how you decide to do it. All right, now that we have all the images we need to make a character, let's jump over to the character generator and create a new character. As you can see, I already created the family of Trikes and the T-Rex for this video, but let's go ahead and create a new character so you see how. There's multiple ways to do it. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and do it starting from an image. All we are going to do here is give the character a name, and then we will pull images from either the history in OpenArt, or we could upload images. I've got multiple images that I generated from different angles, so I'm going to go ahead and choose the head-on as my main image for the character. But then I'm going to add some optional images of the same character from different angles, and I highly recommend you do that, because if you create a character where part of the character image is obscured and there's no additional images to fill that gap in, then when the character is used in videos later, every time the video generator creates the obscured portion, it's essentially guessing on what it's supposed to look like. You'll actually see that happen in this video because my bull Triceratops character has the left frill obscured. So when it was generated, sometimes the model would put a scar there. This little tip will save you a lot of credits when it comes to having to regenerate videos. All right, so here's Mr. T that we just created. And here's the bull Triceratops that was created from one image, and you can see there's an offset in his stance, so you can't see the left side of his frill, and that does lead to a little bit of inconsistency in the video generation. Now you'll notice the name of the characters that we use, T-Rex, bull, Triceratops, etc. Those are the names we would use to reference these characters in our prompts. We would use an @ sign and then their name. OpenArt really makes this process easy. Now that we have our characters established, we can fully exploit the best of Smart Shot and of Seedance 2 by merging them together along with our character references to really create magical videos, completely bypassing the limitations that are built into Smart Shot itself with the limited referenceability. As always, I use Gemini Pro as my creative director, so I tell it what scene I'm trying to create, then it will tell me what assets I need to create, and it will generate the base prompts for each scene of the video I'm trying to create. So we have the base prompt for scene 1, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this and take it over to OpenArt Smart Shot, and we're going to use our establishing scene prompt where we're creating a setting for the rest of the video. And it's going to be a family of trikes with a baby that's near a tree line, and the T-Rex is going to be in that tree line. Now, remember, we have limited references here, and the prompt references all family members, the dad, the mom, the baby, even the T-Rex, but I don't include references in the Smart Shot references at all. And the reason is because we don't have enough reference slots. And I'm going to show you how to get around those limited reference slots in a way that you can use for much larger projects. So the prompt is using placeholder names, mom, dad, baby, and T-Rex. And we're going to go ahead and generate the preview shot, because what we're really after is we want to see what it looks like, what the scene is going to lay out as, and we want the larger, more detailed prompt. So here we have the result of the preview shot, and the results are exactly what I was hoping for. We have the environment exactly the way I envisioned it. We have the placement of the trikes and the baby trike where I wanted them to be, where they're a little out of position from the baby. And we have the T-Rex in the dense forest right up against the tree line. And the baby doesn't know the T-Rex is there. So it's an absolutely perfect setup. Now, in the scenes, as we look at the individual cuts down here, lay out exactly the way I was hoping for. So all we need to do now is grab the primary prompt that, now remember, Smart Shot would take our initial prompt, create this more advanced prompt with the individual cutscenes and the motions or the actions during those cutscenes, and it would feed them into Seedance 2 itself. We're going to take this prompt and we're going to go ahead and copy it and then go paste it into a Seedance 2 prompt ourselves, and then replace the placeholder names with our own references and our own environment. This is how we do it. So now we're in a Seedance 2 video generator prompt area inside of OpenArt, and I have pasted the prompt that we got from the preview shot into the prompt box for Seedance 2, and I have added the references for our T-Rex and every member of the trike family, and then also an environment. And inside of the prompt, every placeholder word like daddy, like dad Triceratops, mom Triceratops, etc., I replaced it with our characters. And then the trick for the environment is to take the environment section of the preview shot and cut that out. In other words, download the whole preview shot and then crop out just the environment area. And then I uploaded it as an image 1, which is our environment. And notice in the prompt, I refer to that when it's describing the environment, so it replicates it. So let's generate the video and see what we get. Well, that turned out flawlessly and definitely set my expectations high, but as we'll see, it doesn't always go so smoothly. So now that we have the first segment of the video and it's very good, I uploaded it to Gemini Pro and told it time to produce a updated scene 2 based on the output of the first video. And yes, Gemini is able to analyze video. That's the main reason I use it. And after some iterations with Gemini, it came up with a very good prompt for the desperate sprint. But notice this prompt has a motion section in it, which is actually what Smart Shot's job is. So Gemini created the motion and the camera angles itself. So to test this, I go back to OpenArt, go straight to Seedance 2, add in all of our references for our characters and the environment, just like before, and paste in the prompt from Gemini Pro, and then go through the prompt and change all of the placeholder names with the character names, and we're ready to generate. And here's the results. Another outstanding result. We just have a couple of minor glitches in the video. No big deal, easy to fix. At the end of the video, we got some weird morphing for the T-Rex, but we can just cut that out. And earlier in the video, some creature, which I presume was supposed to be the Triceratops baby, appeared at the bull Triceratops's feet just as it was about to charge, so I'll edit the video to remove that as well. So the video I have is usable, but I decided to generate another one just to see. Wow, this video also looks fantastic. I would just need to edit the part where the baby teleported back with the parents, but I do like the beginning of the sequence better in the previous video where the baby was running away from the T-Rex. But overall, two very good, high quality segments. So now it's time to move on to scene 3, where we end up in a standoff between the bull Triceratops and the T-Rex. And you can see that in this prompt, I'm actually going to use the motion prompt as part of the preview shot just to see what it does, just to see how it handles it. It looks like we're getting the general idea of what the scene is about. Ultimately, we're supposed to have an epic head-to-head clash that's supposed to slow down, and this is where we're going to fade to black. I'm not sure we're going to get the exact setup we like here, but we'll give it a try. So I'll go ahead and take that prompt and move it back to Seedance 2 and add in our references and modify the prompt to replace the placeholder names. But notice I made a mistake here. One, I have references that we're not using in the prompt, and two, I didn't include the T-Rex. I forgot to add it in because OpenArt remembers what was in the prompt box from the prior execution and also what references you used, and I just missed it. Also, another thing worth noting in this prompt is that I am no longer using the original environmental image. I'm experimenting with other environmental images. Remember, the original environmental image was created through the preview shot from the very first video that we generated. Now I'm using the first frame of the first video that actually has an image of the plains and the trees, and I'm referring to that instead. Unfortunately, the prompt was corrupted on this as well, and I didn't notice it, so that's another mistake. And a result of that mistake is that the T-Rex does not match our character T-Rex. We also have an issue with the scar on the frill of the Triceratops. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this prompt and add in only the references we need. So we need 2 character references and the environment. All right, with that change, let's try this again. Wow, that looks absolutely fantastic. I don't know if I really like the explosion effect of the dust at the end, but everything else, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and modify the prompt so that we freeze time toward the end rather than getting that big explosion. And let's see how this looks. That video looks amazing. But as you can tell, because I did not have the left part of the frill in the frame in the original bull Triceratops model, we're getting random scarring on that side. So that's a lesson learned. Let's create another video and see what we get. Although the last 2 video clips looked great, I think they might have been too long for what we were trying to do, so I decided to redo it again, but this time only make it 5 seconds. There we go, that's more what I had in mind. That turned out perfect. I'm going to go ahead and upscale it and keep this one too. So I clearly have enough video now to create the part 1 cliffhanger that I was looking to build here. But I didn't like the way the baby Triceratops ran off away from the T-Rex, but there was no real closure on that. So I decided to create a segment that brought the baby Triceratops and the mother together, so the mother was involved more in the video as well. So as usual, I went to Gemini Pro and got a base prompt for what I wanted, which was the baby Triceratops fleeing back to the mother. And then I fed that into Smart Shot so we could get the main prompt. But I also wanted to make sure that the scenes were going to give me what I wanted. So if I zoom in on this to look at the storyboard, I am getting what I essentially want. I want the baby to run toward the mama. I don't like the second one so much, but we can always adjust it later if we don't generate what we want. So we can grab the main prompt here and then go feed it into Seedance 2. So we'll follow the same routine as always. We'll use the main prompt in Seedance 2, replace all the placeholder names with our references, and this is what we get. That is exactly what I had in mind to fill that void. I'm going to generate another video just to see if we can get even a better outcome. I like both of these videos, so I'm going to keep both of them. So I'm going to upscale them to 1080p and increase their frames per second to 30 frames. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't I just generate these at 1080p in the first place? I did a comparison video on this, and the results of that comparison were shocking to me. I really couldn't tell the difference, but the difference in credits is astounding. You will literally save about 78% if you do it in this manner. I'll provide a link to that video if you're interested. All right, so now we have all of the video segments. We just need to put them together with the video editor and see what we end up with. I'm very happy with the way that video turned out. I believe that proves we can definitely combine Smart Shot with native Seedance 2 and OpenArt's character creator to make videos that use more references than Smart Shot allows by itself. In part 2, I'll pick right up where the herd left off, and I'll show you how to use starting frames even in text-to-video prompts using Seedance 2. Smart Shot is capable of doing amazing videos even within its current limits. If you want to see how I found a unique way to expand the references within Smart Shot itself, I'll include the links to my previous Smart Shot videos on the end screen. If you have found this information in this video to be helpful, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. It goes a long way to helping small channels like mine reach a larger audience. I hope you've enjoyed today's learning adventure, and I hope to see you around for the next one.